Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. I'm Jason H. Farrell, reporting for Infowars.com as well as PrisonPlanet.tv. I'm 23 and I have 4 years of experience working in the business with production studios here in Northern California. My interest in politics and history have led me to the study of journalism and documentary filmmaking as a medium for truth and democracy. I don't have much time for the segment today, so I'm going to get going right away with a previously recorded series of interviews in which I went onto the streets of Sacramento, California, and asked people what they know of the early onset of martial law here in America. April 27th, 2012. Hello, this is Jason H. Farrell reporting for Infowars.com as well as PrisonPlanet.tv. I'm standing here in front of the Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento County with Manuel Cartagena, and I'm basically walking around today to ask people some questions about some of the new policies that the Barack Obama administration has been putting forward in the past year. And for instance, what do you know about the NDAA document that was passed earlier this year?
Well, just what you just shared with me, tell you the truth. I haven't heard about it before.
You haven't heard much?
Yeah, just a few minutes ago, just the information that you gave.
Well, it's a searchable document that you could actually pull up in a PDF format through the internet, to where it's a standing legal document that disobeys every single constitutional right that is protected through the amendments and the Bill of Rights, as one sanctioned document that protects America's it basically protects our homeland freedoms altogether. And more importantly, it goes on to say that the military is allowed to occupy our road and freeway systems under United Nations jurisdiction, and furthermore to enact toll bridges and to expand those toll bridges to major traffic areas, to which there would be a massive effect to the transportation of the average American.
Well, that's what you were telling me. I think they want to make it official. There are many things, as we were just talking about a minute ago, that people in general don't think about, don't see it, mainly because we don't see it in the news. Most people believe what they see in the news, they do their own research. But as it is, there are many things that we don't know because it's not official, that they're probably already doing. So if you're asking me if I agree with that, I guess the answer would be no. Because there's, as it is, I mean, we have our privacy is being invaded on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Just from things that we don't know. So I just allow the government to go further in and their privacy even more officially out of things. Smart thinker is like to choose to be okay with it.
Right. There's a certain reason why we have these legal binding documents to protect us in a certain way that they do. And in no way does the future of global warfare affect us to the extent to where we must give up our freedom to allow liberty to be protected. And at the same time, those things aren't making sense for Manuel Cartagena, not making sense for me, and I'd like to thank you for your time.
Right,
Manuel. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a minute to answer a couple questions about the government?
Just do an interview, man. It'll be good.
I'm standing here in front of the state capitol building in Sacramento, California with Art, and I'm going to ask him a few questions about the recent history of American politics over the past couple years. Are you aware of Agenda 21? Not? Are you aware of the Al Gore headed
He's the figurehead of the green movement, trying to establish a highly regulated economy in which taxes are based upon our carbon usage. So the more carbon that we exert, the more taxes we would receive. For instance, there would be a tax on every single human child, no matter how young, for the usage of things such as diapers. And they're going to start taxing runoff off of your roof and say that that is polluting the local water systems. Even more importantly, what they're truly are crucifying the people who own land and farm and are independent. And what, for instance, what they're doing, and these are, I've heard this in some of the eastern and Midwest states, but they are actually eradicating certain invasive species according to, it would be according to a felony crime to be having these animals, which we have had for hundreds of years since, you know, whoever can chart those sorts of, you know, instances of invasive species. But they're actually coming through to farmers and saying you need to kill all of your entire cattle, or what have you, or else you will be a felon and prosecuted in a court of law as such. So how do you feel that this common theme, how does that resonate within you? Madness, absolutely. And earlier you said that you yourself have not voted since the Carter-Reagan administration.
Exactly.
And I would almost thank you for your diligence in fighting for humanity. Almost at the same time.
I say they're going to do what they're going to do. That's
absolutely.
why I don't vote no.
Absolutely. And I think that if more people were to come to realize exactly what you portray here, then we would be further down the road to victory and justice. Thank you very much, sir. Art with Jason Farrell standing in front of the state capitol, and let's continue, man.
Let's go.
That shit was pretty good. Thanks a lot. Alright, I'm standing here with Don in Sacramento, California, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions about policy as of late in our government. With the TSA doing naked body scans, what is your position on that as far as human rights?
It's a scan to the body.
Scans of the body. You know that those are saved on databases?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Probably deleted after.
well, I would definitely hope so. Okay, moving on. As far as the TSA controlling our airway transportation, what do you feel about if they were to possibly control also our motorized transportation on the highways and freeway system? What would be your position upon that?
Controlling as in how?
Controlling toll bridges, security checkpoints at major intersections.
And all they're controlling is the access to planes.
I'm bringing up merely the fact that if they did extend their jurisdiction over the American road systems, what would be your
How do you think
first
they would do it?
impression? How would they do it?
Yeah.
They would apply it just as though it was a border between, possibly a border checkpoint between these countries. They're similar structure. They, at every major
State line.
to Homeland Security, which is technically every single bridge.
Yeah, how much money they cost?
It costs very much. Right, and I do agree with you at the same time that they write certain documents and programs that do effectively run themselves into the ground. So I wouldn't trust that necessarily otherwise. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just thank you for your time today.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Infowars.com as well as PrisonPlanet.tv. This is Jason H. Farrell reporting.